Tamil Nadu Global Investors Meet 2024 is happening in Chennai on January 7 and 8.
Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Rahul Gandhi will begin his Bharat Jodo Yatra 2.0 from 14th January, covering 14 states, 85 districts, and a distance of 6,200 kilometers. But there are people who are questioning the timing of this Bharat Jodo Yatra, which probably will be called the Bharat Nyaya Yatra, as Congress is calling it. But the point is that when the Bharat Nyaya Yatra takes off, the Ram Temple campaign of the BJP will also be at its peak. So, how will the opposition counter the Ram Temple campaign, and how battle ready the opposition is for 2024 elections? Joining me now is Overseas Congress Chairperson Sam Pitroda. He's joining us from the United States. So thank you so much for joining on the Federal. And I've been seeing your interviews, which you have given to a number of media platforms. My point is that Rahul Gandhi, if he begins the Bharat Nyaya Yatra, do you think that the timing is right when the electoral preparations are supposed to be at its peak, just 2-3 months left for the general elections to kick off? How meaningful will be this Bharat Nyaya Yatra? Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, there has been a great demand from large number of people within the party and outside the party for Rahul Gandhi to travel east to west. He did from south to north, so people felt that we also need to have the privilege of joining the Yatra. Two, it is not in competition with anything. It is part of a process of reaching out to people, bypassing standard media and connecting directly to people on the street, talking to them, meeting them. Of course, it will take a lot of time. So I hope this time it is not all walkathon. It could be drive, it could be bus, it could be tractor, it could be whatever.
Yes, that's what
the idea is to
Yeah.
Right. The idea is to go through so many districts, so many states, and touch heart and minds of people. It's going to be a little different yatra than the first one, but it will still have the same meaning and purpose, is to reach out to large number of people, energize them.
Pitroda, I do understand when you say that, the yatra has a larger purpose of, almost like if you go on the philosophical lines, it will do some deepening, of the thinking, how people are thinking, and, how people will take this yatra forward. But should we not connect this yatra with the electoral outcomes as well? Because it's happening in the run-up to the 2024 elections.
Yes, it is connected in a sense. Connecting with people is connecting with voters. These are same things. But those who come to the yatra will get touched, will get influenced, and they will go on and carry on their work in their own district for election. Yatra is not just one small group of people traveling from point A to point B. It is touching a lot of local people who in turn will translate that into vote.
And you're confident that Congress will succeed in romping home the numbers which are required?
We don't know that. Nobody knows that. I don't have a crystal ball. But all I can tell you, it will make a difference. And also, I think we all need to understand that the 2024 election is so very important for India. It is not about Congress versus BJP. It is not about Modi versus who. It is about the idea of India. What kind of a nation we all want to build? Do we want to build a nation which is based on religion, where we begin to isolate people, where we begin to divide people, promote hate, where we begin to corner resources for one group of people at the top of the pyramid? Or we remain true to our constitution and build a real secular nation, which we have done for last 75 years,
But sir,
and
looking
keep
at
that
the
journey
mindset of
forward.
no, but looking at the mindset of the people, there are takers for religion and huge takers of religion, and see the results of the recent assembly elections.
40%, 40%,
Okay,
60% of the people don't buy that. The question is that 60% gets divided. If that 60% comes together, then the result would be very different. Today, the way the democracy is set up, 50%, 60% of the people are ignored. 40% of the people decide what is good for the nation.
no, but this 60% of the representatives, I mean the opposition members I'm talking about, the number is 60%. They can see the enemy very clearly. They can see the adversary very clearly, what kind of ammunitions their adversary is using. But even then, the 60% of the opposition bloc, it seems, is clueless. It doesn't know what to do. Why?
No, I think it's very simple. It's very simple. They all have to come together. They all have to sacrifice. They all have to say, let's decide what is good for India versus what is good for my party or good for me. Can we agree to put one united candidate against BJP in every seat? Then the results are very clear. But if they fight and say, no, I want 40 seats, and somebody says you want 20 seats, and no, I want this fellow and that fellow, then there will be a problem. So
But
this is the time to sacrifice.
right. But are you contented with the way the India Alliance meetings are happening? And we do not know the outcome so far, except for some noise which is made after the media briefings are done. But are you contented? Are you satisfied with the way things are happening currently?
I personally wish we could have moved a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
I personally wish we had been way ahead in terms of selecting candidates and all that. I wish our committees had worked a little better, you know. But I think they are in tune. They mean well. I think they've met many times. They are socializing ideas. And I think they are making a difference. May not be at the pace I would like, but they understand the sense of urgency.
Mr. Pitroda, given the little time they have, and as you are saying, that 2024 is a crucial year, and for India as well. So I'm just understanding that sensitivity and keeping that in mind. Do you think that the pace? Of course, you're saying that you're not happy with the pace at which things are moving, but do you think that they will move at a pace at which they can really make a difference?
I hope so. I think the next big thing is to really decide on the candidates. Then different people will take over. Once you decide on the candidates, then they'll energize that candidate and people rally around that candidate. Okay.
No, but Mr.
To me, that's the
Pitroda,
crux of the matter right now.
But Mr. Pitroda, what I don't understand is that every time a parliament session happens, now look this time what happened. More than 142 MPs, they were suspended. There were murmurs that there could be en masse resignations of the MPs. That did not happen. No single MP courted arrest. Now, why did the opposition look so listless, so lethargic, that despite having issues on the platter, they are just unable to move?
No, I don't think that is true, really. The media is totally captured. Media shows only one side of the story, according to me. I've seen it time and time again. Media can take things out of context from what you have said and twist it. What could all these people do but sit outside the parliament because they are not allowed to go inside? Now, if the media was really supportive, media would take that outside meeting and show day in, day out. Then it will look like, oh, something interesting is happening. If media doesn't pay any attention to them, people say, oh, they didn't do anything. So I think media makes the message today. And the messages are distorted, misrepresented. The reality is very different. When you get many people out.
No, but we've been saying this for last 9 years that, the media is not helping the opposition. And can this become a defense that media is not helping? Yes, everyone is watching that media is not by the side of the opposition. But can that become opposition's defense? Can opposition take refuge in the fact that, look, media is not by our side, so we will surrender? Can that be an excuse?
No, that should not. How could you surrender just because media is not on your side? People are on your side. You can't surrender 60% of the people. You have a moral responsibility to respond to the 60% of the people, media or no media. Because 60% of the people have backed you up. So you better shape up.
No, but when you have an adversary like Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a tall figure with all the muscle, the power, the central agencies by his side, now how can the opposition really counter this phenomena in the country?
You have to go to the people. That's the only way to do it. You don't have money to fight the machine. You don't have institutions to fight the machine. You don't have media to fight the machine. So you have to go to the people. And if people don't support you, there isn't much you can do.
No, but Mr. Pitroda, Rahul Gandhi's the first version of the Bharat Jodo Yatra also happened, and he did pass through many states. And look what happened in the recent elections.
No, but don't.
That's not been encouraging.
No. Don't confuse results of the election with the mood of the people. I've just read, and I've been talking recently to press only about the EVM. I read and studied the report of the Citizens Commission on Election. You should read that. It has been signed by over 7,000 people. After reading that report, I decided to talk to some experts, IIT professors in America, and I'm convinced that something is not right with the EVM. If you control EVM, you can control election results. If this is the way EVM is going to be,
right?
Okay, you might as well give up now. When people say we'll get 400 seats, when they say we'll get 400 seats.
But Mr. Pitroda,
they'll get 400 seats.
No, but the same EVM, gets Congress to win the elections in states like Telangana.
That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it right. I can let you win one and I can win 5. I can let you win another one and other 5 I win. So what? The point is there is trust deficit vis-a-vis Election Commission on VVPAT. As soon as you attach VVPAT to electronic voting machine, it is no longer a standalone machine. Because you have to introduce a jack, you have to program it, there is a software, there is a hardware, external. And then you give a receipt on a display that you can see for 10 seconds. And then you put it in a dabba which is electronically connected. That is not acceptable to me. Because you can be doing anything with my vote.
So are you confident that this
So
process
give me a paper receipt.
Right.
First, give me a paper receipt that I can hold and that is legible for 5 years and not for 4 weeks. So don't use thermal printer. Use proper printer. Then let me put that receipt in a dabba which is not connected to any electronic device.
But Mr. Pitroda, this skepticism around EVM is understandable, what you are saying and what other opposition parties are also saying. But this skepticism grows louder when elections are nearing. Why is there not
naturally
for this?
No, but I think the skepticism has grown louder only because the report of the Citizens Commission just came in. See, earlier everyone was talking about this, that, and hearsay, and saying so Pitroda said this, Joe said this, and Sanjay said this. Now there is an organized report of the Citizens Commission. They have studied it for 2-3 years. There's a lot of data. I wish that report had come 3 months earlier. Okay, but there it is. Still there is time. And if you can't build trust,
what can the opposition do now on EVMs?
I would recommend opposition to take a very strong stand and say, look, if Election Commission does not respond to this, it is not acceptable. You got to respond because there's a mistrust. How do you want me to participate in an election when I don't trust any of this? Okay.
Mr. Pitroda, we were talking about the Bharat Jodo Yatra or the Bharat Nyaya Yatra, as the new name is suggesting. It also happens at a time when the Ram Temple campaign will be at its peak. Now, we still do not know. I mean, we do not know what the Congress party's version will be on the Ram Temple. People like Mr. Kharge, Sonia Gandhi, they have got invites. We still do not know whether they will go or not. The other opposition members have been declining the invites, like Sitaram Yechury or Mamta Banerjee. So, what is the stand on attending the Ram Temple inauguration ceremony? Should the opposition go or should the opposition not go?
I think it is an individual's decision. It is the party's decision. Let them collectively decide what they will do. This doesn't deserve independent comment. Okay, it requires parties to mull over and decide and take a position.
No, you're right when you say that it's an individual decision. But when you have an adversary, a political adversary, which has made this program into a political program, don't you have a plan B to fall back on? What will you say? What will you suggest? What is the opposition going to do? Nobody has an idea.
That party will decide and come out. I'm sure there will be an answer. Still is enough time still.
But doesn't the opposition look confused as to what they will do on the Ram Temple inauguration?
I don't think so. I think opposition will have to, each party will have to decide, and collectively India platform will have to decide.
But doesn't that leave the opposition in a lurch? Because obviously BJP will start saying that, look, they are anti-Lord Ram and
they will say anything anyway. They will say anything anyway. If you don't go, they will say anti-Ram, and then if you go, they will say something else. So I don't think you can decide based on what they will say. Okay, they will comment on your blue shirt and on my black shirt. So what can I do? That's okay. So I don't pay much attention to their rowdy approach to everything. It's okay. They will do whatever they want to do anyway. No,
but Mr. Pitroda, when you have a majoritarian politics, being executed by BJP in this manner, the opposition, I mean, of course, what you've said that media doesn't show what it should be showing, but even then, the opposition doesn't seem to have any kind of ammunition which is absolutely battle ready to counter BJP at this point of time.
Yeah, but you see, every issue cannot be in terms of what is your response.
Okay.
You can't say, okay, BJP has Ram Temple, what do you have? Prime Minister Modi said this today, what's your answer? Prime Minister went to see cricket game, what's your answer? No. The real issue is, what do you believe in? What is your idea of India? You got to go back to basic. When in trouble, I ask, what would Mahatma Gandhi do? And things become very clear to me in my life. Okay. Because you got to be on high moral ground, and you don't want to fight battle by losing high moral ground. High moral ground is, I want India to be secular. I want our institutions to be independent. I want civil society to be able to criticize me. I mean, how can you have a prime minister of a country like India and not have a press conference for 10 years? I mean, that says it all to me. I don't need any more conversation. What you're telling me is that I am not willing to have a dialogue with public. What you're telling me is that I am afraid of having a dialogue with public. I have nothing to learn from them. I have nothing to talk to them about. Okay. I don't want to be seen vulnerable. Okay. I would say it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be human and say, look, Advika, I don't know this. Help me. That's what democracy is all about. We have very authoritarian mindset. And that's what we want to fight in the next election.
Right.
Next election is not about A versus B. Okay. It is about this idea that Prime Minister of a country of 1.5 billion people does not have one press conference in 10 years. To me, it says all about what this government is. Finish. Now don't get into tutu meme.
No, but who is going to counter Modi? We do not have a clear prime ministerial face.
It doesn't matter.
Every
It is
week,
not
who
about, no,
is
but it is not about Modi versus who. That is not the way to look election. It is not a parliament. It's not a presidential election.
okay.
Okay. It is a parliamentary election. Somebody will emerge. Country will survive. It is a country of 1.5 billion people. There are millions qualified. So don't get into this racket that
Right.
Modi versus who. Okay.
Uh,
I mean, look at Modi's education. Look at Modi's experience. Okay. Look at Modi's approach to speech. Look at Modi's, understanding of this situation. Take each one. And you think you can't find a people to match that? Are you kidding?
So you think that the India alliance story is not a lost story? There's still a lot of hope, and they can bounce back to counter BJP.
Absolutely. People of India will have to decide. People of India will have to back them up. People of India will have to say, look, what kind of a nation I want to build? Do I want to build a nation where Prime Minister will not have press conference for another 5 years?
Right.
Or I want to build a nation where Prime Minister will talk to everybody and say, look, I'm a human being. I make mistakes. Help me. I want to talk to you. I don't have all the answers. That's what I want.
Right. Mr. Pitroda, I also want to talk to you about Rahul Gandhi and his image makeover. There was a lot of, he was called a pappu, for so many years. After he finished the first leg of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, at least he came out of that pappu shadow. And people did recognize, after his image was enhanced and what he did through the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Now, when the second leg of the Bharat Nyaya Yatra starts, what is the kind of image makeover really Rahul Gandhi is looking at? Because we all do know the simple fact that he doesn't want to be the prime ministerial candidate. And so what is his aim in life? What does he want to do really at this point of time?
First of all, elections are not about image building. Gandhiji did not have a PR agency. Gandhiji did not have strategic plan prepared by some outsiders. His life was his message. In Rahul Gandhi's case also, I believe his life is his message. He's a young guy. He's a simple guy. No matter whether you call him Pappu or not, he's highly educated. He's very well read. He can go and stand in front of Stanford University and talk. Can Mr. Modi do that? Okay, so let's not confuse. It doesn't matter what media says. It cost hundreds of crores to attack him with Pappu image. And it stuck in some places. But the fundamental issue is he's educated. He has the right DNA. His heart is in the right place. He believes in democracy. He believes in, lifting people from poverty. He believes in equality, justice. Okay. So we don't need his fabricated image. When people meet him and touch him, they know who he is.
Right.
No, okay? Media can say whatever they want to say.
So are we looking at him in the role of a philosopher and a guide for the Congress party, that who will not have any electoral ambitions, but he will continue to steer the party?
That is his option, and that is party's option. Okay. He could be seen as the next younger Mahatma Gandhi in many ways. Okay, modern Gandhi, it could be possible. Okay. But the idea is not to create false image. It is not a media propaganda where before he comes out of his room saying, dress it properly, do this, do that. No, that's the way it is.
But do you think that Rahul is absolutely ready to counter Modi on every front?
It depends. There is no such thing as black and white.
Okay.
There are lots of gray areas. So you may not be able to counter on every front. It's okay. You don't have to win. It is not a fight between Modi and Rahul.
Okay.
Okay, I think people somehow see it very differently than I see it. Okay.
Mr. Pitroda, a lot is being said about Priyanka Gandhi as well. Do we see Priyanka in a leadership role? If you're saying that that's Rahul's choice whether to take up the post of the prime minister or not, but he does look like in a position of a philosopher and a guide for the party. So does it mean that party now will propel Priyanka Gandhi in some kind of a prominent role in the run up to the elections?
That is up to Priyanka Gandhi and not party. Okay, Priyanka Gandhi will have to make that decision.
Okay.
Okay. Party may request, but if she says no, she says no.
Right.
Okay. Because she has her personal life, she has children, she has husband, she has family. She may decide one way or the other, whatever it is. It's okay.
Right. But given the state of things currently, how many seats would you really expect that India alliance can garner, given the fact that, of course, the seat sharing hasn't got completed, the process might get completed sometimes in mid-January. Again, very little time will be left. So what is your assumption? What is the realistic number of seats you're looking at?
I do not have crystal ball. I do not know. No matter what I say, I'll be wrong anyway. So it doesn't make sense.
Okay. But why are you not coming to India, Mr. Pitroda? You've been such a big guide for the party. We all know how you've contributed towards the party. But why sit abroad and why not come to India and help the party?
Okay, first of all, I'm 82-year-old. Okay. I worked with Rahul's father, Rajiv Gandhi, in 80s, early 80s. I think it is time for younger people to take the lead. I get more done from Chicago than if I'm in India. I'll tell you personally. For last 3 days, I've been on video since 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning to 2 or 3 in the afternoon, straight. Okay, talking to people, all kinds of meetings and all. When I come to India, I waste a lot of time in travel, in useless dinner meetings, in senseless conversations with people, okay, in socializing. I don't do that.
No, because
I don't go to.
if you look at the BJP template, a lot of NRIs fly down, they support BJP during elections, and they organize
Great.
a lot of meetings. So
That's good.
you don't think that it will help you or the Congress party in any way?
No, I can do it from here. I have lots of people back home, and it doesn't mean I won't come. Okay. But COVID also made it a little difficult for 2-3 years. I didn't want to take a risk with my health and all. Okay. So I stopped traveling after COVID. And now I'm used to this office setup and all. It's, there is a light and there's a TV camera and everything is just perfect. And this is my world now. And it works much better. I have children in California. I have a son and daughter in California. I just do Zoom with my grandchildren because they're also busy. When I go there, they have no time. So this virtual world works for me. And then I go once in a while to see them for 3-4 days. But I don't want to disturb their schedule also.
So you mean to say that you can do wonders still for the Congress sitting abroad and before your camera and before your lights, and you need not fly down to India exactly?
This is more important.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Pitroda, it was wonderful having you on the program. Thank you so much. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this interview, subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to The Federal. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pitroda.
Thank you.
Tamil Nadu Global Investors Meet 2024 is happening in Chennai on January 7 and 8. Subscribe to The Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.